Everyone says ads are the fastest way to scale, and I believe them and nearly ran my business into the ground. But the truth, growth doesn't come from paid traffic. It comes from systems and leverage. And today I'm revealing the exact growth strategies that turned everything around for me and how you can scale your business without paying Zuckerberg a cent. But before I show you what worked, let me be real with how bad it actually got. Because I didn't just wake up one day and have the perfect strategy. I tried everything: funnels, ads, copywriting courses, high ticket consultants, and nothing moved the needle. We were burning cash. I was burning out, and it felt like I was always 1 month away from shutting down my business. At one point, I was following everything you were supposed to follow. I was running paid traffic. I was building complex funnels. I was downloading all the templates that the guru said made them hundreds of thousands of dollars. And I spent thousands of dollars a day on ads, cold leads, low conversions, and I still didn't get a return on my investment. I was frustrated. I was angry, but I took it out on myself. I thought that I was the failure because I was doing everything that the traditional business gurus tell you to do. But I was burning out. I was spending 12 to 14 hours a day and still had poor client delivery. I still had inconsistent sales. My leads were drying up. I was constantly switching back from tools and strategies, signing up for more softwares, more courses. And every single time it put me further and further down the hole. I thought that I didn't want to do this anymore. I thought that my business was going to die. But then I started really thinking, well, what are these people telling me? And why am I listening to things that don't work? And I've been proven that they don't work. And here was my realization. The problem wasn't effort. I was putting in plenty of effort. I was working endlessly, honestly. And every single day I was doing it. I was consistent, but I was working on the wrong things. The hustling became a trap, not a solution. I didn't have any systems or leverage being built in my business. I was just throwing money at a wall and hoping that the wall would give it back. Well, it doesn't work like that. Systems existed, but they were fragile. I was reactive. I was emotional when building them, and everything still relied on manual effort and manual input in my business. But I shifted my mindset to leverage and automation instead of spending money to make money. And I began building for long-term growth. So now I want to share with you the growth hacking secrets that absolutely changed the way that I view business and how I operate business now. And secret number 3 is something that nobody will tell you. So stay tuned for secret number 3. But secret number 1 is an organic acquisition loop. This is so important because the traditional way that online will tell you on how to run your business is spend money to make money. Run ads, buy courses, buy templates. But when I started transitioning to organic acquisition loops, I started actually getting more customers and I didn't spend a penny to acquire them. I replaced paid ads with an evergreen content system, with referral systems. I had SEO going on, email nurturing, I had lead magnets and compounding traffic. That's the key. You want to make sure that your traffic is compounding every single day. What you do in the past builds on what you're going to do in the future. Ads don't work like that. Ads will stop making you money the second you turn off the inflow of cash. But SEO and blogs and creating value, that's something that'll compound over time. So each asset feeds the system. It's not a one-off template that I had to create. It was an asset that fueled an evergreen system. So secret number 2, retention actually equals acquisition. Most people will never frame it this way. Most people say that acquiring a customer is very different from retaining a customer. And if you look at the nitty-gritty details, yes, there's different tools and processes to do each one, but in actuality, retention is just acquisition in disguise. Because if you know how to retain your customers and they're happy and they tell positive stories about your business, that is going to drive more traffic to your business than any amount of paid traffic. And the best part, it's free because you don't have to always pay people. You can just make sure that they get a result, that you're a man of your word or a woman of your word that provides them with actual value. And when I switched it and I started doing this model, clients actually stayed longer. I had a smoother delivery. The retention and the results of the product didn't depend on me doing everything manually. So I actually freed up more time. I was actually looking back at myself like, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm not working as hard. But I was still working very hard, but I wasn't feeling like all my work was going down the drain like I did when I was running ads. Because for me, I knew that my customer was going to tell 2 to 3 friends. I could almost put it to a board and predict my revenue based on word of mouth. That's how good I got at getting people to have a story to tell. And that's what you need to focus on inside of your business is what story is your customer telling other people? Is it good or is it bad? Is it positive and makes people want to buy or is it complaining? Because people will do both. Positive and negative is the exact same thing, and it could either derail your business completely or it can grow exponentially. So you need to focus on that. And now for one that absolutely changed my mind and my mindset on all things social media and online influencers. Because every single person is going to sell you a course on how to grow on social media, how to create this massive audience. And as you can probably tell from my channel right now, I've never done social media. I've never posted. I didn't need 10 million followers to make money because I figured out that in reality, and this is secret number 3, is micro influence is very, very valuable. And micro influence is far superior than just a major audience that doesn't actually take any actions. Because I've literally sat down with people like this. I've met people that have 5 million followers across platforms and they're broke because their audience only wants to watch them for entertainment or to get a laugh. They don't trust them. They don't view them as an authority figure on the subject. They just want to watch them to get a laugh. And they struggle with monetizing their actual platform, which is so scary. But micro influence is what allows you to actually sell. Because if you actually have influence over, even if it's a small amount of people, you have an authority stake for getting them to sign up. So stop chasing vanity metrics. Revenue means nothing. Views mean nothing. Subscribers mean nothing unless you know how to convert it. That is the key. Because having 10 million subscribers and all of them are purchasing, you're sitting pretty. But most people don't work like that. And they'll teach you how to build an audience, but not teach you how to run a business. So even if you had all the audience, you still don't know how to operate a business. So you're going to be drowning in tasks. You're going to have failed delivery. People aren't going to get results, and your business is going to be dead in 8 months because I've experienced that exact same situation. So what I did to really perfect this system is I focused on our core 100 users, the first people that gave us support. And I did everything I could to make sure that they were happy and saying positive stories. I sat on open office hours for 2 hours a day answering questions. I reached out to them. I followed up with them. I made sure they were happy. And what happened? They started referring their friends. They were so inspired by the amount of support and effort that I was giving to them that it was almost a no-brainer for them to go tell their friends and family. And it was something that grew my business way more rapidly than any amount of content. So the proof is in these secrets. What you do with these secrets is all on you. I'm not here to tell you that this is some magic bullet that's going to grow you to $1 million overnight. It doesn't work like that. Business doesn't work like that. Life doesn't work like that. But what I'm here to tell you is that I've tried the way that everyone's teaching you, and I failed. And I was drowning in money, and I was drowning in debt, and I couldn't build a business that would scale. And then I tried it this way and focused on really delivering high value content to my customers, making sure they were happy, making sure the story was there. And in reality, it's a lot slower. It's harder to build. It takes way more patience, but if you do it the right way, it compounds and you don't have to pay Zuckerberg a penny. So if you liked this content, you found this valuable, make sure to subscribe to this channel. I'm not here to sell you some course. I'm not here to sell you a mastermind. All I'm here to do is provide value and insight that has worked for me, and I hope that it works for you. And if you want to continue your learning, make sure to click the video that's going to pop up in one of these corners over here, because that is the video that's going to take you to the next level. This gave you the mindset. This gave you the action. This video is going to give you the tactics. So make sure to click on it. Go ahead and watch it, and we will see you in the next video.